Now, the deepening deadlock in Parliament entering its second week has already led to a loss of about close to 90% of Parliament's time, with no end to the impasse. The opposition has blamed the government for the deadlock, especially the government's refusal to allow a debate on the Pegasus spyware scandal. The government, however, claims the opposition is at fault. The Prime Minister called the protests an insult to the Constitution, to democracy and to the public. Home Minister Amit Shah earlier in the session had gone a step further, saying the protests by disruptors and destructors was a conspiracy of sorts to derail Indian democracy. Now, here's the thing: the disruption of Parliament is hardly new or the prerogative of the current opposition. What we're going to play you now are images from UPA-II, when the BJP was in the opposition, where we can see, and these are all video from 2011 onwards, BJP members rushing to the well, demanding the resignation of various ministers, protesting against the various scams that were unfolding at that time, disrupting the speech of ministers like Kamal Nath and so on, and also even papers being torn and thrown in Parliament, something which we are seeing again this time and has come in for condemnation by the government. But at the same time, it's almost deja vu, because these same visuals are repeated again and again. All right. Now, at the time, the BJP leaders, when asked about this disruption, had said the following. Arun Jaitley in 2011 said, in such situations when discussions aren't allowed by the government, the obstruction of Parliament is in favour of democracy. Therefore, parliamentary obstruction is not undemocratic. Arun Jaitley again in August 2012, there are occasions when obstruction in Parliament brings greater benefits to the country. We do not want to give the government an escape route through debate. Sushma Swaraj in September 2012, not allowing Parliament to function is also a form of democracy like any other form. Arun Jaitley also in the same year, one session of Parliament has been lost on account of the 2G scam that has helped this country cleanse the telecom sector. Sushma Swaraj again speaking in 2012, we had to stall Parliament to expose the government and its corruption. Anyway, it is the government's job to run the Parliament, not that of the opposition. In fact, data shows that the BJP may have been amongst the worst obstructors when in opposition during UPA-II. The productivity under UPA-II, compiled by Parliamentary Research Services, was the worst in 50 years. The productive time was 61%, which the data says was the worst for the past 5 decades. This is a bar chart which actually gives you an idea of how gradually you see productivity falling all the way down to 61% in the 15th Lok Sabha. Frequent disruptions resulted in the Lok Sabha working for just 61% of the scheduled time, is what Parliamentary Research Services found as the reason for such disruption.